Hello everyone, us again. We just wanted to do a quick little video for maybe all the parents out there around having conversations with their kids, coming from all three of us who have children ourselves. We thought it'd be a good idea to maybe give you a few hints and tips about what to say and how to behave. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Frost, you've got quite a few children and grandkids, right? 6 children, 7 grandchildren. Yeah, so what kind of conversations are you having with them?
Well, my kids, I've got 2 boys.
Yeah.
And so obviously, you know, there's temptations out in the streets. So I always say to my boys, you know, don't take stuff from people, don't do favors for people. You know, you got these kids out there trying to recruit other kids for gangs, and they might buy you a pair of trainers, they might offer you a jacket, or they might say, look after this. Don't look after anything for anyone. Do you know what I mean? And if you feel that your child is up to something, search their room. You know what I mean? Always feel free to search their room. You need to know what's going on in your child's life, especially in these inner city areas. Do you know what I mean? Especially boys. Do you know what I mean? But you know, more likely to be boys, but girls as well. Always be careful and always be wary of who they're hanging out with, what they're doing, and what they're bringing into the house. Because you know what I mean.
What would you say parents should be looking out for if they have concerns?
Look out for new trainers. Look out for things that you haven't bought. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you might see like some earbuds or little things like that you didn't buy. Where did they come from? Do you know what I mean? These are the little things that the little telltale signs that something's wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, have they got new friends? Who are they engaging with? Who are they walking the streets with? Do you know what I mean? But if you feel that you need to search their room, always search, because you'll be surprised what you find.
Okay.
It's an interesting one as well, isn't it? Because I guess the parents will have an internal battle with themselves around how they respect their child's privacy, especially if the child's a teenager, whilst at the same time fulfilling their parental role of keeping them safe and out of trouble. And I guess that's a real big conflict that a parent will have. But you're saying you've got to go with your gut, right? You've got to trust.
You've got to go with your gut. If something's off, you know your child. If something's off, go with your gut, and you know, and look out for things that you haven't bought. Do you know what I mean? Like, where do these things come from? Yeah. Always keep an eye out on these things.
Now, yesterday you shared loads with us about your own kind of childhood and the scrapes and battles and trouble that you got into. What conversations? I hope you don't mind me asking this. Like, was your mum or your parents having with you, or the people that look after you? Who was having those conversations with you, and what was your response to them?
Unfortunately, there was no conversations back then, because you know, our parents are from the West Indies, and as far as they were concerned, everything was okay. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So they wasn't as engaged, and they were just like, oh, you look, go out in the street and deal with it. Do you know what I mean? So there wasn't that kind of responsibility and that kind of engaging parenthood from my parents or parents of the generation above. There was none of that. Do you know what I mean? So try to engage with your children, and you know what I mean, try to be present. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. How do you have that conversation though, if you're worried that they're up to those kinds of things, before you do the room search, before you invade the privacy and go full throttle?
Just ask, where did that come from? Where did you get that jacket from? Where did those trainers come from? Do you know what I mean? Some of these kids are walking around in really expensive trainers. They had to come from somewhere. So you want to know where they come from. Who's giving you stuff? You know what I mean? Like, don't take things from people to look after.
Yeah.
Do not look after anything for anyone. Do you know what I mean?
People, like you said, if children at home, you know, we must remember children are children. There's always elements of naivety, of not fully understanding the bigger picture. And yeah, looking after someone for something is a simple thing that you do, because people are generally quite nice. Yeah, I'll look after that for you. But it's what comes with that then follows, and then it's the difficult thing to move. Yeah.
This is kind of reminding me of my own, just listening to you speak, because we had quite a hard girl at my school, and she used to shoplift for everybody. And then if she shoplifted for you, you were kind of in her pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
If she knew that you liked something, and she's an amazing, beautiful person, and she's had her own turnaround now, and she's changed, and everything's all good for her. But there was a time when if she knew you liked something, she would steal it for you and give it to you, and then she kind of had a little bit of ownership over you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's age old. It's always been the way it is, and it will always be. You know, it goes all the way back to the Navy, wasn't it? They used to put the old coins in the bottom of the pint glasses, and if you picked it up and you drunk and there was a coin in there, you were in the Navy. It was signed up. And
Is that how it works?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, so you can get tumblers. So the old tumblers, where they started putting bottoms in the glass in the bottom, so that if you picked it up, you could see if a coin had been put in your tumbler and not drink from it. But if you drank from it and the coin was in there, the Queen's coin, you were then in the Navy. Because
wow.
And that was it. And it's an age-old thing, and it will always continue to be the same. But it's about having that foresight to not take things, not to borrow things, not to hold things. But that's hard when you're a kid and your friends are all doing it, or you don't want to let your friends down.
Yep.
And it takes a huge amount of strength and
courage. Very important. Very, very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, Ian and I are going to unpack all of those things. If you haven't caught our chat, hopefully Julian Campbell Foundation will give you an opportunity to be able to rewind and do that, because we cover sort of how to have conversations. But we felt that after our amazing interview with Jumpin Jack Frost, it was just really relevant that actually he came on, he shared his experience as a dad in London that has been in these situations and has children, and what he did. And so, yeah, I'm hoping you'll find that helpful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you again, Frost.
Right.
Pleasure.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Well, I'm fasting, so I'm going to go because